Hi guys, Darthnick here, just doing a fun little side quest cleansing the Commonwealth for the Brotherhood of Steel. Thought I'd combine making this video with a little bit of an update about the new Fallout patch that's going to be coming soon. It's currently in beta. That update is called 4.1.4. It's going to be live for PC, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. As soon as it's out of beta, it's in testing now. And if you go on to Bethesda.net, you'll be able to find out details of how you too can be a part of that beta. Moving on swiftly, we're going to talk about the updates that are available. Hopefully I don't get nuked by this guy, this is going to ruin the video. Oh, thank God for that. Okay, so this update initially seems to be about new customizations for your homes. And the first one it mentions is Super Mutant Platter. Luckily I'm right here at a Super Mutant base, so we should be able to give you some nice examples of that. It says here it included meat totem poles, meat bags, and meat carts. So basically, I've been saying this for a while now, we should be having all the options available to us as builders and people who like to make our own communities. We need to mix it all together and be able to make all sorts of cool stuff. Cheeky little nuke strike there. Just coming in, helping me out with the artillery. So we're going to be having the ability to use Super Mutant building measures, so we're going to see lots of cool stuff. So if you can imagine, that's going to be the spiked defenses that they have. It's also going to be the bags of meat hanging down. Ooh, there's some serious nukage going on here. It's also going to include lots of other cool things, like the meat cart, which is essentially a shopping trolley full of meat. We're going to be able to store stuff in there. I'm not quite sure how it's all going to work. It's going to be interesting to take a little look and see how that's going to work for us, but I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
I'm assuming we're going to have to collect junk the same way we do for other things, and possibly stores are going to start selling these items as well, otherwise it's going to be pretty hard to get hold of them. Maybe we've got to go and steal them from... And there's another Brotherhood of Steel ship! Jesus Christ. What's this guy? Who's he killing? He's trying to kill Curry, that's so funny. Got owned, son. Yeah, so moving on. We'll be looking at stuff like this. This is what I was talking about when I meant the spiked defenses. Little things like that they're going to have in the Super Mutant building package. When we get inside here, we'll maybe see some more stuff. So we're going to have these things that hang down as well, little metal cages. And in here you can see they've got big meat bags everywhere. So that's going to be shit that we can build in the game. Now, what else are they going to have? It also says here they're going to have raider clutter, including raider poles, cages, and tents. So let's look at the first one, raider clutter. Raider poles. Raider poles are the long metallic stroke barbed wire covered wooden poles that they have. And I believe they also have dead bodies skewered on them, so that's going to be pretty gnarly. We're going to be looking at that at maybe people who are doing a sort of Mad Max post-apocalyptic anarchic build of their world is going to be interested in doing that sort of thing, because they're also going to have cages, and we know it goes in cages, that's right, creatures and or possibly settlers and people. We'll just have to see how that plays out. So it's going to be a dark side to people playing this game. We're probably going to experiment with some of these cages and start doing dark things like keeping all their settlers in a cage, and it's going to be interesting to see what horrors lurk in the dark recesses of the human mind. Now, moving on swiftly, we have here one of the carts I was talking about earlier. That's a meat cart, lots of meat in it. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll probably be able to put, you know, like deathclaw pieces and all sorts of funky stuff in there and really own it and make it our own. And you can just see there, it's pretty grim. You know, it's going to be pretty grim having the having these options, but it's also going to be a lot of fun because, you know, you can't always have happy, swanky, white picket fence looking houses in your communities. There are going to be people who are out there who want to explore the darker side. So, moving on to the raider clutter, I mentioned the raider poles, so they're going to have people skewered on them most likely, and heads as well on the poles. That's going to be something they're going to be doing for definite. That's something that figures very largely in any raider community that you notice. The way the game developers build it, they can get pretty dark there. I've seen ones with lots of human skeletons inside the cages, and you know, you can open up the cage and the bones drop out, and it's obvious they've just kept someone in there until they rotted, and it's going to be pretty dark with the raider side of things. And also tents, they're going to have raider tents, so we're going to look at I would imagine sort of like almost like a sort of shanty town sort of look, where they're going to have raider tents with sleeping bags inside, and we're going to be able to build, you know, these small or maybe even large tents that incorporate quite a big area, with people sleeping rough inside and sleeping bags or what have you. Again, really trying to go with that dystopian, post-apocalyptic vibe that's going to be available. Oh, we have contact.
Stop right there.
Yeah, pacified him.
You're coming with me.
What's next on the list? So after the Super Mutant Raiders, oh yeah, we have abstract and portrait paintings. So as you guys know, in the game, there's always the option to put paintings on the wall. They're mostly of nice fluffy kittens and puppies. Oh, look at that, my little girlfriend took out that ghoul for me. Thank you very much, girlfriend. I'm gonna call him Trevor. Come on, Trevor.
Calm down, you. Calm down, you. I know you hear me. You're coming with me.
Sorry, just taking out these ghouls. So the abstract and portrait paintings will just have to remain to be seen exactly what they are. We might find it's going to be something pretty trippy. Maybe it's going to be characters from the previous games. Who knows? Who's this guy? Oh, we got a Minuteman. What's up, dude?
General?
So yeah, we'll have to see what those paintings are. I'm excited though, because, you know, it's nice to have pictures of puppies and kittens on your wall, but sometimes you just want something a little bit different. And especially if we're going along with the sort of dark underbelly of the world, like Raiders and Super Mutant builds that are going to be available, it's going to be a bit weird if we're going to have kittens on the wall and then dead bodies in cages next to it. So they're probably going to do something pretty dark that will go with that vibe, and that sort of underground vibe that they're trying to go for with the Raider culture and also with the Super Mutant. Above and beyond that, what else was there? There was a variety of new signs. Now, I've actually seen a photograph that Bethesda released today, which was a variety of different new signs. Hot dog stand, there was one for a pharmacy, it said get your drugs here or something like that, so you can sort of stick one of these signs on the side of your building when you're making your doctor surgeries and your bars and what have you. I'm sure there'll be one for each, and you'll be able to make an actual store as opposed to just having an emporium sort of randomly in your community. What else did they have on there? So there's going to be more metal and wood door variants in the update. So we're going to see a greater variety of things that you can build out of wood and out of metal. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm sure it will be, because if you think about the amount of different constructions that are available in the game, you can build wooden houses or metal houses. Essentially they look like the best you're ever going to get it to look like is a little bit like a mansion crossed with house on the prairie. You can make a nice big tower or what have you, and you can be sorry, that walker just disappeared. And you can make the house look nice, you can make it look sort of typical American house on the prairie, white picket fence and that sort of thing, and you can add a bit of spice to it. But now that we're going to have the option to make Raider things, I've no doubt they're going to open up a lot of the different Raider type variables for us to build with. So we'll see a lot of different wooden and metal structures, something a bit darker, something a bit more sinister maybe, something that's sort of in line with the feel of this update and what's going to be available. So I mean, that's pretty much it for build limit and what's available, sorry, for the building and what's available for the customization features of your homes. For me, I've built like pretty much huge communities everywhere, and it's going to, you know, it gets a bit repetitive. You realize after a while there aren't that many options, so it's nice to finally be able to see that there's going to be some other interesting ways to do this, some new interesting ways to customize your homes. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the Raider stuff and the Super Mutant stuff. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be able to see how we can improve what we've already built. Maybe a lot of people just start from scratch, just, you know, just completely scrap some of their communities and just start from scratch. Like maybe dress people as Raiders and make them all look like Raiders. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. There we go, take some of that. Oh my god, this ghoul's got no head. Look at him. Look at him. I'm just gonna let him come at me. I've got Tesla, so if he comes close to me, he'll get electrocuted. There, he's done. That was crazy. That ghoul was walking around with no head. Oh well, I completed the quest and I managed to do a quick review of the new customization options that will be available, so we've done pretty good so far. Of course, there's going to be other things in the update. I've just given you a small percentage of the information that's available to me, and there's a huge list which you can check out on Bethesda.net, www. of course. And I think there's going to be some new DLC coming out in March, I believe it is, which is the Automatron. Following on from that, of course, there's going to be the Wasteland Workshop, I believe it's called. Automatron, I'll do a separate video on that. That's going to be about robots. You're going to be able to customize your own robots and do all sorts of funky things, make your own companion, and possibly change their voice and all sorts of other cool shit. The other one I'm really interested in, though, is the Wasteland Workshop. That's going to be really interesting. That's going to be making your own fighting arenas. It's going to be like Pokemon all over again, facing off against Deathclaws in your own arena, and we'll talk about that again in more detail in the next video. And finally, there is one last thing I forgot to mention, which was the final DLC that they've announced. Well, it's not the final one they've announced, but it's the most recent one they've announced. It's called Far Harbor, and that sounds very interesting. It's going to be a completely new map with whole new settlements to build on, and story quests and missions and side quests and all that sort of good stuff. But most importantly, on a whole new map. So if you're bored, Fallout 4, don't worry, new shit is coming. March, April and May, I believe. I'll do another video to go into a bit more detail about that at another time. Now, I've got a little bit of time left on this video, so I'm just going to play out, see if I come across anything interesting in my travels. There should be about a minute of video left to do, so we'll just wait for that video to run out. Nah, nothing to see here. Looks like we killed everybody. I've already been in there. This ain't my first rodeo with this mission. So yeah, like I was saying, all that good shit, you know, like, comment, and subscribe on my video. Please share it as well if you're a member of any Fallout or PlayStation or PC groups or anything like that who'd be interested in this sort of thing. Please do share it to their groups on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all the rest. Let's help grow and share this channel of awesome content for the fans by the fans.